All right, welcome back to Jackknife TV. So what I'm going to try here is I'm going to try to make some filler content in between my vlog videos, because I still have about maybe 2.5, 3 hours of vlog footage to edit from my last load, where I did a 3-stop out on Long Island and pretty much in the boroughs of New York, Bronx and Queens. So what I'm going to do is maybe put out a little bit of informational, at least tips or tricks or something that I've developed over time, doing either flatbed or reefer work or whatnot. So today I'm going to try to talk a little bit about managing your ELD time. And what I mean by that is, I'm not going to go over the basics of ELD etiquette or whatnot. And also this also depends on whether or not your carrier allows it. Some carriers are very, very strict on their ELDs, so they don't allow you to do anything really. You're pretty much either it's on duty or drive, and that's it. There's nothing else, no matter what. But that being said, so for instance, I like to label everything in my ELD. So like we'll say when I pull into Tyson here and I'm sitting at the guard shack for 20 or 30 minutes waiting for them to check, 2 trucks in. What I like to do is put myself on duty, sit there in line, because technically you are on duty, and pretty much put in, in the comments, checking in guard shack shipper, because that's what I'm doing. Then once I'm at the guard shack and I check in real quick, because I'm just a bobtail, you put yourself on yard move, because you are on private property now. And what this does is it saves your drive time. So you might not think, but if you do multiple stops a day, those couple minutes of drive time, especially if you forget to actually put yourself on duty when you get out and walk into the shipping office or whatnot, that adds up. You can easily kill about an hour, maybe an hour and a half worth of drive time or more. And that might be valuable to you if you're stuck in traffic, or if you're trying to get to a particular stop or place to shut down at night. That time does add up. So like I said, if you're in one of these large receivers, instead of driving around the whole place, using your drive time, put yourself yard move and just write in the comments yard move as I'm pulling my mic off. That way it'll save you time later on to maybe do what you have to do. This is going to be all scratchy now. But I'm not starting this over again. So that being said, that's a little tip that I guess I've developed, having to use ELDs. When my paper log days, that's paper log days. But for ELDs, that adds up real quick. The same thing for on duty time. If you're like, let's say, now this also depends on your carrier that you're leased onto. They all have different rules. Mine apparently, as long as I'm not physically doing work in the trailer or inside, the shipping office or on the dock, I'm allowed to be in sleeper berth or off duty. Therefore, if I go in and I have to check in and they tell me, hey, I have to wait, you know what I do immediately? Sleeper berth. All that time adds up too. If you're stuck waiting for trucks to check in or whatnot, or you're stuck waiting for a door, put yourself on sleeper berth immediately. If you have it on your phone, as soon as they tell you at the window that you're waiting, put yourself on sleeper berth. It adds up. It adds up through your week. All that time adds up. You might not think so, but 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 20 minutes there, or there. You can literally lose probably about 5 to 10 hours sometimes throughout your week if you don't keep track of that. If you're trying to keep running and doing recaps and stuff, that's a big loss in time. What I like to do is I like to take a picture of the reefer temperature and the trailer number along with the seal number. And since we all usually have Google or maybe iPhone, I imagine they have the cloud, I have a separate folder where I keep those pictures, I don't know, at least for a week, depending if it's damaged to the trailer, which I also take pictures of. I usually send them to trailer maintenance, just in case. This cover my ass really, but it's just a good habit to get into. Also, if you can get in the trailer, if the trailer's unlocked and open and you have to seal it to the guard shack or whatnot, and this is anything, dry van, reefer, take a picture of the load, how it's loaded. You know, take a picture of you putting load bars on or whatnot, and if you know there's a problem or an issue when you drop it off, you know, you're, like I said, you're covering your ass. Also, make sure, guys, that you're putting your BOL number, or at least some kind of number that matches the load, either a delivery number or something, to your pickup, or your paperwork, I should say. Because lately, at least, I don't know, what safety's been putting out on messages and everything, and emails, is guys are getting nailed for that left and right, and it's an easy thing to forget to not put the trailer number, not keep up with the trailer numbers throughout your day, or your drops, the BOLs that you're actually dropping right now. I've seen that happen if you have multiple drops. Sometimes here they're the same. The BOL number is the same through the whole, you know, 2 or 3 drops. Other times I'll get them on, at least on my paperwork, this might be different, or whoever you're picking up for or doing loads for. Each drop will have a different BOL number, and you better have that in your ELD, because they're checking for that. I know it's not really, it doesn't sound like it's a huge problem, big deal, but hey, DOT wants to, you know, make that profit and, you know, get you on something if they can't get you on anything else. So they're going to get you on that. And they have, you know, office staff that when they upload your ELDs and stuff, they review that and they go over each thing and they try to cross-reference that if they can. So like I said, make sure you add that information in your ELD. So that's my little, I don't know, tip for your ELDs. Other than that, like I said, make sure you document everything. I know, like, my carrier kind of wants me to only put certain things in the line for notes, but I don't care. I'm putting what I'm doing in the notes, period. It don't matter. If I'm doing a personal move, you know, PC. If I'm shopping, grocery shopping, I put grocery shopping. I fill all that out to the point, because if anything ever happened, God forbid I get in a bad accident, and they go through my ELDs, I want them to know exactly what I was doing at each interval. I don't want there to be any kind of, what do you want to say, lawyer, I guess you could say, nitpicking anything I did. The same thing, like, some guys will, I mean, I guess you could walk in and check, but technically you're supposed to go on duty. Now, to be honest, the way the FM CSA rule book is set up, anything, if you're calling into a shipper, you're supposed to go on duty. If you're filling out paperwork, you're supposed to go on duty. But I just don't want to be caught up into that. If anything ever happened, like I said, God forbid, an accident or something, I just don't want to be caught up into that nonsense. I want notes in every single log day that I do, and then to go through and be like, okay, so he was here, he was having lunch. He was here, he was on break. He was here, he was checking in at the shipper. He was checking out at the shipper, checking in at the receiver, checking out the the shipper or receiver, whatnot. Checking in at the guard check. Oh, I want all that time accounted for. And I know, like I said, I'm from the days of doing paper logs also. But I know it's kind of like redundant and childish now, and you know, screw ELDs, but you know, it can always come and bite you in the butt in the long run. So, like I said, watch your time, keep track of it, get yourself off the clock as soon as you can, save that drive time also, and you might be more profitable and more, I don't know, I should say less stressed out, and especially in the evenings when you're trying to find a place to park, you'll have that extra hour of drive time instead of wasting it driving around giant facilities, you know, looking to back into a door or drop a trailer or whatnot. So that's my little ELD tip today. Like I said, thanks for watching Jackknife TV. Please like and subscribe, and I'm going to try to keep making a little bit of filler content like this in between editing my videos. So you know, thank you for watching. Stay tuned.